Well, you're right on time for breaking today. Good evening from where you're watching us from. My name is Joel Church and our sign language interpreter is Tracy Dorcas. We have a lot in line for you, and remember to text us on 111 and tell us where you're watching us from, of course, without forgetting your name. Today being Jamuhuri Day, you can also send your wishes, of course, Merry Christmas wishes in advance. And let's begin now with President Uhuru Kenyatta on the nation's 57th Jamuhuri Day paved the way to pitch for the BBI referendum, saying all indications point to the urgent need to revisit the 2010 constitution to make it better and more responsive to the aspiration of Kenyans. The president further defended the creation of extra seats in the executive of a prime minister, his deputies, and the office of opposition, claiming is the long-lasting solution to Kenya's ethnic division after every election year. Daniel Kariuki reports.
As Kenya today marked its 57th Jamuhuri Day celebrations, constitutional amendment talks took center stage in the President Uhuru Kenyatta's speech as the BBI train, which already kicked off, found its way into the Nyayo Stadium to fuel up.
The BBI proposes amendments to our constitution to give Kenyans hope for a better nation. It seeks to align the spirit of our nation with the letter of our constitution.
According to President Kenyatta, the BBI will be a betterment to the current 2010 constitution, which was meant to be a solution to the 2007 post-election violence. Further, claiming the creation of extra seats in the executive as proposed by the BBI Chapter 8, of creation of office of the Prime Minister with his two deputies, creation of leader of opposition who is the runner-up in the presidential election with his or her ghost cabinet ministers as being the solution.
Of course, we'll be getting that story in just a few. Apologies for the mishap there with the audio. Moving on, chiefs and assistant chiefs will be held accountable for any negative number of children after schools resume its course January next year. President Uhuru Kenyatta gave these and many other directives during the Jamuhuri Day celebrations. Robert Ouma with the details.
In marking the 57th Jamhuri celebrations, President Uhuru Kenyatta issued directive to ensure that education system stabilizes rapidly after reopening early next year.
The Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government shall, through all chiefs and assistant chiefs, account for all children within the jurisdiction of those officers and also ensure that all children report back to school in January of 2021.
The Ministry of Education will receive reports from primary schools and secondary schools, regardless of the education system, as per directive by the President. Also, the Ministry of Education will issue and publicize education policy on reopening to facilitate and give an official reopening date for children who may be locked out on the first reopening due to pregnancy.
With the safety of our young learners being our top priority. In that regard, and in line with the policy of the government on universal and compulsory basic education for all children of up to 18 years, all parents and guardians are required to facilitate their children to resume their learning in January of next year.
The President also urged parents to ensure that their children report back to school, since the country depends on them for future development and growth of the economy. Even after 9 months of children staying out of school and the country experiencing downward trend and surge in coronavirus, the government still insists that children will be given priority even after reporting back to school January 2021. For Breaking Today, I'm Robert Ouma.
Now, small-scale traders have a reason to smile as the government has put in measures to protect their businesses through provision of soft loans. During the Jamuhuri celebrations, President Uhuru Kenyatta has said a transit shed for cargo has been created for clearing cargo for small-scale traders. Samuel Namukana now reports.
In a bid to boost small-scale traders, the government of Kenya has provided a 100 billion credit guarantee scheme to provide partial mitigation of the default risk associated with micro, small, and medium-sized business enterprises.
Creating a robust population of owners of capital who are more than the earners of wage, my administration has made its attempts, especially during this crisis, We began by cushioning small-scale businesses through fiscal and monetary measures.
The aim of this initiative enable these businesses, enterprises access affordable credit and protect the jobs they have created.
Our manifest in the general reduction in the cost of credit, which now stands at its lowest rate of 11.7%, comparable to 1980 when it was 12%.
President Uhuru Kenyatta, during the Jamuhuri celebration, said that a transit shed at the Kenya Railways has been dedicated as a clearing point for cargo imported specifically by micro and small traders. This will not only eliminate delays in clearing of goods, but will also allow easier push to market as well as joint importations.
At the Kenya Railways in Nairobi, dedicated as clearing points for cargo imported specifically by micro and small traders. This will not only eliminate delays.
This happened as the country marked the Jamuhuri celebrations in Nyayo Stadium here in Nairobi. It is a sigh of relief for small-scale traders as the government has put in measures to protect their businesses. For Breaking Today, I'm Samuel Namukana.
Meanwhile, President Uhuru Kenyatta has commended the Nairobi Metropolitan Service City Health Facility expansion efforts, highlighting the ongoing construction of 24 health centers in informal areas which are nearing completion. Lilian Maina reports.
In July, Nairobi Metropolitan Service Director General Major General Mohammed Badi pledged to build 24 fully functional hospitals in Nairobi's informal settlements in 100 days. Later in August, President Kenyatta commissioned the construction of 3 new Level 3 hospitals, witnessing the groundbreaking of 16-bed capacity hospitals in Muthua in Uthiru and Kianda in Kibra, as well as a 24-bed facility at Maendeleo village in Mukuru kwa Ruben. Speaking during the 57th Jamhuri celebrations at the Nyayo Stadium, President Kenyatta said that he was very confident that the construction process of the hospitals will be complete by early 2021.
I instructed the Nairobi Metropolitan Service to build 24 Level 2 and Level 3 hospitals in all our informal settlements here in Nairobi. And I note with satisfaction is on course to deliver facilities by the end of January 2021.
The president was keen to point out that the new health facilities will also see the government increase the bed capacity in Nairobi slums with the aim of increasing access to health services for Kenyans living in slums.
The idea is to take health services as close to the people as possible. And with the completion of the 24 new hospitals, we will have increased the bed capacity in Nairobi's informal settlements by 280.
All eyes are now on the Nairobi Metropolitan Service, which must work round the clock to deliver the promise of best possible healthcare to the city's residents, at least by 2021. Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Lilian Maina.
And now to our top story by Daniel Kariuki. President Uhuru Kenyatta on the nation's 57th Jamuhuri Day paved the way to pitch for the BBI referendum, saying all indications point to the urgent need to revisit the 2010 constitution to make it better and more responsive to the aspirations of Kenyans. The president further defended the creation of extra seats in the executive of a prime minister, his deputies and office of opposition, claiming it's the long-lasting solution to Kenya's ethnic division after every year. Take a look.
As Kenya today marked its 57th Jamuhuri Day celebrations, constitutional amendment talks took center stage in the President Uhuru Kenyatta's speech as the BBI train, which already kicked off, found its way into the Nyayo Stadium to fuel up.
The BBI proposed amendments to our constitution to give Kenyans hope for a better nation. It seeks to align the spirit of our nation with the letter of our constitution.
According to President Kenyatta, the BBI will be a betterment to the current 2010 constitution, which was meant to be a solution to the 2007 post-election violence. Further, claiming the creation of extra seats in the executive as proposed by the BBI Chapter 8 of creation of office of the Prime Minister with his 2 deputies, creation of leader of opposition who is the runner-up in the presidential election with his or her ghost cabinet ministers, as being the solution to Kenya's continuous quagmire of ethnic divisions and economic standstill after every general election.
In the spirit of inclusion, it does not augur well when at the top you have only 2 individuals in the form of the president and the deputy president. More so in an ethnically diverse nation as ours. This creates an environment of political exclusion, resulting in the cyclical violence that we have witnessed in every election.
In his sentiments, however, the president appeared to be answering DP Ruto's questions at the Bomas of Kenya during the launch of the BBI report when he asked,
The question I am asking myself, have we sorted out the winner-take-all question?
If the opposition carries a large portion of the country and the winner in an election carries another, isn't there therefore a compelling argument? And is it not in the national interest to give official recognition to the opposition and support his office in the form of a shadow cabinet?
Deputy President William Ruto, however, continued to spread his gospel of calling for consensus to drivers of the BBI train, urging them to find ways that would eventually unify the nation.
We'll overcome this challenge because we believe in your leadership, and together, united, we should be able to build the necessary consensus, to have the correct priorities so that we can confront and overcome this situation.
Despite reading from different scripts, President Uhuru Kenyatta and DP Ruto continued to try to revive their bromance, judging from the mode of dressing and continuous share of laughter. A bromance that allegedly came to rest after President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga shook hands at the steps of Harambee House and initiated the BBI report. The BBI referendum quagmire taking center stage in this year's Jamuhuri Day celebration. The 2010 Constitution continues to be eyeing for possible amendment. Donald Kereki for Switch TV, Nairobi County.
Well, 12 minutes now past 7 p.m. Time to take a short commercial break. We'll be back with more stories. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Breaking Today. My name is Joel Church and our sign language interpreter is Tracy Dorcas. Keep sending in your feedback via 111-444-111. Moving on, President Uhuru Kenyatta has today awarded certificate of citizenship to 1,670 members of the Shona community from Zimbabwe and 1,300 members from Rwandese community. The communities have been living in the country since the 1930s, and the process of issuing them with the certificates has been on since then. The certificates were received during the Jamuhuri Day celebrations by the 20 representatives of the various communities, including Michael Isibidi and Oliver Muregera.
Nosizi Ruben Dube. Francis Kamuhanda. Gabriel Halelimana.
Meanwhile, NC party leader Musalia Mudavadi has called on Kenyans to reflect and refocus their energies in choosing and re-electing leaders who have a vision in transforming the economy of this country. 57 years after Kenya gained its independence and self-rule, Mudavadi says the biggest letdown in the fight against poverty, disease and ignorance as foreseen by our founding fathers has been the political class that has continuously ignored the plight of the common mwananchi, but instead focus on selfish personal interests while in power. Sazamunga filed the report.
In his Jamuhuri Day message to the nation, the one-time vice president says a massive civic education campaign should be undertaken to enlighten Kenyans as their choices matter and the choices they make on the ballot determine on the future of this great nation largely, with the focus being on who are the leaders that we choose as people to propel this country forward.
I think there should be a massive campaign to try and help Kenyans to focus on the whole principle of interrogate and then vote. Let us not have a situation where we fall into the trap of voting and then interrogate.
Citing the first challenge that Kenya continues to struggle with, ignorance, Mudavadi, who is seeking to become Kenya's 5th president come 2022, has outlined the need for Kenyans to have deeper reflection on the academic strides that we have made as a country, and yet a huge number of Kenyans continue to make uninformed decisions, whether by choice or concession, especially when it comes to voting in the right leadership.
You know, this is very critical, because if you do that, you end up having a situation where people who contribute to the impoverishment through their ways of doing things, through their policies that may not have been well thought out, after impoverishing you, they come back to you and tell you we can provide solutions for you. So I think Kenyans need to be very critical here. They must look at it and say, our choice matters. Can my choice, my decision make a difference? That is the question that should be in everybody's mind.
Mudavadi has also pointed out poverty as one of the major challenges that we struggle with as a country, saying life for many Kenyans has become so unbearable.
Mambo kama haya ni kuonyesha kwamba janga la kupigana na umaskini hatujatimiza. La mwisho ni janga kuhusu kupigana na ujinga. Mimi ni kuwasihi tu Wakenya wakumbuke kwamba kupigana na ujinga sio tu ile hali ya kwenda kwa darasa na kujifunza kuandika na kusoma ama kutumia kompyuta. Kupigana na ujinga pia ni kuhakikisha Wakenya wana uwezo wa kufanya ama kutoa uamuzi ambao utakuwa na manufaa kwa maisha yao.
Corruption and mismanagement of public funds also having compounded the dire situation, the ANC leader has called on the political leadership of the country to shun decisive politics and come together, unite Kenyans and work for the people, as they are the servants to the people and not masters. Sazamunga, Switch TV, Nairobi.
Away from that, and now on matters health in Kenya, today 548 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported, with 4 deaths and 1,017 new recoveries, even as the World Health Organization is warning that festive season celebrations could quickly turn to sadness if people fail to keep up their guard against COVID-19. WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom says the number of deaths from the coronavirus pandemic is surging and urges people to think very carefully about their holiday plans.
The festive season is a time to relax and to celebrate, but we must not relax our guard. Celebration can very quickly turn to sadness if we fail to take the right precautions. As you prepare to celebrate over the coming weeks, please consider your plans carefully. More than 66 million cases of COVID-19 and 1.5 million deaths have now been reported to WHO. In the past 6 weeks, the number of weekly deaths has increased by around 60%. Most cases and deaths are in Europe and the Americas.
Well, and now I'm tossing the ball to Cedric Oronje for the latest in the world of sports.
Many thanks for staying with us. My name is Cedric Oronje, and now let's get sporty. As the country celebrates the annual Jamuhuri Day, Timothy Cheruiyot and Catherine Dereba are among top athletes recognized. Cheruiyot earned the Order of the Grand Warrior OGW Award for his exemplary performance in Durban, South Africa, London Marathon and Gold Coast, Australia. Catherine Dereba was also recognized for her milestone performance, more so the 42-kilometer gold championship in Paris 2004.
Gold Coast, Australia. He is awarded the Order of the Grand Warrior of Kenya, OGW, for exemplary service to the nation through sports. A record of winning performances by Kenyan athletes across the book road. Congratulations, Chief Inspector Timothy Cheruiyot. In 2004, she won the gold championship in the 42-kilometer marathon held in Paris, France, and also in the year 2007, the same race held in Osaka, Japan, and lifting the name of Kenya high in the global arena. She also receives a book that documents record-breaking performances by Kenyan athletes.
A big